What's up guys, welcome back for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Duel video. Tri-Brigade, the new archetype, let's try it out from Phantom Rage. This is the current main deck. The archetype is like a combination of like Wing Beast, Beast Warrior. It all involves those three archetypes, and on its own it doesn't really work too well, so you have to find like another archetype. There are a couple of options, but Zoodiac seems like one of the better ones, right? Fire Fist also comes to mind, for example, Harpies as well. But this one, you will see why. As you see, the current main deck is super packed, 40 cards, pretty much the same way as Zoodiac has been running like past couple of months. How is it, that's it, Zoodiac, right? Hand Trap, Zoodiac engine, a very small Drachma engine. We'll tell more about that soon. But the new cards definitely pack some cute stuff. Couple of main deck monsters. The thing here is that the Zoodiac engine supports the deck, obviously. Because of a couple of things. There is the standard opening move of, well, you know, having that red spear, and this is the same move as regular Zoodiacs nowadays. Having access to only having one Dryden, so as you know, this is pretty much the standard same move. But now you're using the two Zoodiacs here for the Link 2. The Link 2 has a capability to special summon, let's say, a beast from your hand, directly from your hand. And the cute thing is that these new Tri-Brigade monsters all have the same effect. The level 2, the level 1 and the level 4 all have the same effect, that when they are face up on the field, you can like Miracle Link Summon, if that makes sense. Very similar to Miracle Fusion, like banish the same amount of like monsters from your graveyard to go for that particular Link Summon. And the way I feel this deck works well is that during your first turn, you're banishing like, let's say, 4 Zoodiac Beasts from your graveyard, which, let's face it, is not super hard for the archetype, because again, you went for that Link 2, for example, or Link Summon. That immediately sets up your desired Zoodiac monsters or beast or whatever in your graveyard to immediately spam out your Link 4, basically for free, right? But, you know, you went for the Link 2 first. The Link 2 has the capability to special summon something from the hand, so basically extending your plays. While this one, it's very similar. Oh, she looks like a Sky Striker, right? But anyway, when she's sent to the graveyard, you can like draw one card and then send one card from your hand back to the bottom of your deck. So that's cool. It's basically, you know, like drawing into more hand traps, I guess. That's how the archetype works. The archetype has 2 traps. They are quite good. One of them has like the capability, you know, the one that I activated now, that should be Oath. Tri-Brigade Oath has the capability to reborn like, you know, let's say a Tri-Brigade monster from your graveyard. And at the same time, and that might seem hard, but that's not really the case with the archetype, is that when that trap card, your Oath, is in the graveyard and your opponent activates like, let's say, a spell card, for example, as you saw, like Lightning Storm, you know, like destroy your entire field. You can banish it from the graveyard and negate the effect, but you can only do that if you control the 3 different types. So that's Beast, Beast Warrior and Wing Beast, but most conveniently is that all 3 links have those 3 different types. So again, that's quite good. That's why the trap card, you know, like reborns your Link 2, for example, because she's a beast. The other trap cards also is a fantastic card. It's like very similar to Return from a Different Dimension, a Tri-Brigade Revolt, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name. Should be in my hand now. It has a capability that, let's say, during your opponent's turn, to special summon like as many monsters, like Beast Warrior, whatever, from both your banished pile or from your graveyard, special summon them all to the field, and then you're immediately forced to go for a Link Summon with those. So now I have 4 free monster zones, so let's say if I use it now, I can special summon my 4 banished Zoodiac monsters and immediately go for a Link 4 summon during my opponent's turn. So that's quite gimmicky, but, well, it's cool, but the archetype needs more. And again, you will see why soon. The cool gimmick now is why you're preferring this desired setup is that the fact that the archetype has the ability to play during your opponent's turn as well. So going for the Link 4 first, or well, eventually right here in the middle main monster zone, and of course your Link 3 in, for example, the extra monster zone. That's a perfect co-like interaction, because the Link 3 has like the capability to reborn, like for example, a Beast Warrior from your graveyard, but sadly that only works during your opponent's turn. turn. Bit sad, but that's how Konami decided to do it. But again, that interacts with your Link 4, because the Link 4 has the ability to banish something on the field as soon as the Link 4 itself is summoned, or another like Beast or Beast Warrior is special summoned to your side of the field or on the field. Again, you see like the interaction, right? During your opponent's main phase, you can use the Link 3, reborn something, and then banish something from your opponent. So that's a cool interaction that the archetype has. Coming back to the monsters, again, the level 1, the level 2, and the level 4, who knows, we might get more of them. As you saw in the deck profile, I'm running like the level 4 3 times. The level, I have to see that I'm not mixing them up. The level 1 is at 2 in the main deck, while the level 2 is at 1. Reason why is that the deck is already super packed. I want to keep the deck at 40 cards, but the level 4 seems the best one. The level 4 has the capability, like, that it's basically a Foolish Burgle. You can use its in-hand effect to send itself, discard itself to the graveyard, and then Foolish Burial something from your deck to the graveyard. So that's mind-blowing good for all of these monster types. But more conveniently, you'll be sending, in this case, the level 1 to the graveyard, because the level 1 is basically a Sangan when it's sent to the graveyard, right? And depends on your hand most of the time, because you just sent your level 1 to the graveyard, you'll be getting like a search, a Sangan search, and depends on your hand if you have an extender or if you have like another zoo in your hand. Most of the time I'm going for the level 2. The level 2 has the capability, Sarah's I believe the name is, to discard like another Beast Warrior, for example, to special summon itself to the field. So basically a sweet extender, but I mean, it can come in handy, let's say, if you want to have like a Zoodiac monster in your graveyard, because that's still the flaw of Zoodiacs, right? You can't use the, what is it called, Shakanin, if you're not controlling, or if you don't have a Zoodiac in your grave, right? So detach something and then reborn something. So you already need like a name Zoodiac in your graveyard to use that particular effect. So that can come into mind. Same counts for Thoroughblade to, you know, discard something, discard a zoo, and then draw one. But most importantly, you're already setting up a Zoodiac monster in your graveyard. So yeah, your Shakanin can, you know, use the effect to reborn something, and, well, you're basically just Link grinding and climbing as well at the same time. As I mentioned before in the beginning of the video, there is like a very small Dragma engineer in the main deck, you know, like the lore, etc. all comes in together, but the reason why I might drop that small Dragma package is the extra deck. I'm just running like 2 extra targets, the Entis, I guess, and the, you know, like the Bastard, the guy that searches during the end phase. But that's basically it. And the main deck package is really small as well, but I guess it's still worth it, because let's say if you're going second, you can use like the Nadir, the spell card, the Foolish Burial spell card, to send Entis to the graveyard, you know, keep the pressure going, pop something from your opponent, and most importantly, this small Dragma engine packs like a hand trap, right? You can search Fleur and use that effect failure effect during your opponent's turn. So those are all reasons why I still like it, even though the package is really small. Most importantly, right, with the current deck, it's currently at 40 cards, only 2 pot of average. You might want to main deck 3, but then again, is that, you know, you want to keep those monsters in the graveyard for them to be banished off of your Tri-Brigade monsters, you know, free Link summons, I guess. The biggest flaw currently I'm still finding with the deck, well, again, like, this is the first wave of support, obviously, but the biggest flaw, and as you saw, I'm not running any of their spells. The traps are good, but the biggest flaw is that they aren't searchable. So who knows, we might get more support in the future for this archetype, which hopefully searches like the spells and traps, hopefully, well, more like the traps. I mean, both spells are okay. I'm probably leaning a bit more towards the continuous spell. The continuous spell has that built-in search effect as well. Then again, when it's like on the field, you're only restricted to special summoning Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast. In this case, in this deck, it's not really that big of a deal, unless I change my deck a little bit, and with that I mean if I drop like the Dragma engine, and this will open up some extra deck spaces, and if I have more extra deck space, I I might just add in stuff like Access Code Talker, you know, like the good Appaloosa maybe, you know, just give you more options, or give you more options in the follow-up place in turn 2 or 3 after that, right? Or 3 or 4, you know, how you want to look at it. But that's one of the reasons. But again, the fact that they aren't searchable is one of the reasons why I'm not running any of them. I don't see a use of the Quick Play spell. Because again, the monster effect is also negated. If that wasn't the case, you could definitely do stuff with that as well, like summon the Wind Barrier statue as well. But the monster effect is negated. I mean, I don't see it. So again, feel free to leave like suggestions for the 2 spells, but the 2 spells I feel aren't that great. You can run the continuous spell, I feel, at 1, but like opening multiples of them just feels bricky. And let's say if you're going second, I just want them to be hand traps. That's the way how, you know, like Yugioh is nowadays. But the same for the traps. I definitely run more of them, want to run more of them since they are superb. But if your opponent is able to, well, like, you know, stop your plays, prevent you from setting up your board, your link, because one of the traps needs that, they'll become dead. And that's dead weight, and that's something you can miss, right? So the archetype definitely needs something to search out those spells and traps. But it's a super fun archetype. It needs more exploring, of course. The archetype was revealed earlier today, so I'm still, you know, like testing out and exploring. So feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.